One precious skill that I've learned when I'm traveling is to plan an itinerary in a super quick way. In this video, I will tell you a super quick and stress-free way to plan your next itinerary to anywhere. Let's get into it. Bonjour, this is Aaron from Aaron Go Traveling. Today, I'm gonna tell you my way of planning an itinerary. The first and the quickest way on planning an itinerary is to go straight to Pinterest. Pinterest is a true gem and I urge everyone to get on it if you are planning for an itinerary. It is a very powerful search engine that returns search results in striking images, and most of the time, there are already pre-planned itineraries for you to use. This works really well if you are going to places that are very popular. Going on Pinterest to search for an itinerary is not really planning for an itinerary, but I guess it doesn't really matter because the truth is these bloggers have been to the places themselves, have written extensively about the place, and there's a tried and trusted itinerary at your disposal. I just type in the number of days or weeks or months and the place that I'm going to. For example, 2 weeks in Japan, a month in Europe, 2 weeks in Brazil. I normally use Pinterest to plan my itinerary when I'm on the road, when I don't have the luxury of time to sit down and perfect the details of my itinerary. Personally, I prefer Pinterest over Google because if you put in the same search on Google, you realize that a lot of the Google results will come back with generic websites with generic information about the place. On the other hand, most of the pins by the bloggers on Pinterest are heavily curated because the competition is stiff, man. I just think that it's more genuine on Pinterest because I'm reading about someone who has been to somewhere and experienced something. There are times when you're planning and you're stuck because you just don't know the bus connection to this obscure village, or whether winter is a great time to visit the city, or you just don't know what are the tourist traps around the area, or so on and so forth. First of all, I would type in my question on Google first. If Google cannot answer my question, or if I can't be bothered looking for an answer already, I head straight to Facebook groups and post a question. Facebook groups are another underrated resources that a lot of people are not aware of. There are many city-specific and country-specific Facebook groups out there that are really dedicated to help travelers when they are going to the country. These groups are full of locals, are full of people who have been to the country, or people like you, people who are planning to go to the country. That means if you're solo traveling, you could even find a travel partner if you want to. I'm personally in many groups. I made many friends from these groups and I love asking questions. I see it as a way how locals see the places. For example, I can just post where's the best Turkish breakfast in Istanbul, and the locals of Istanbul will just come up with hidden gems that's around the neighborhood, around the area that I would have never known if I just go on Google to search for it. Other websites that I use to ask questions about traveling are like Quora or TripAdvisor, even though I don't use it as often. Another way to plan an itinerary is to go through the traditional way, write it all down. I only do this when I have the luxury of time or I'm planning an itinerary for a group of people. Things that I normally include in my itinerary. When it's closer to the dates of your arrival, just copy and paste the weather forecast of the days that you're gonna be there. It might not be very accurate, but it gives you like a rough idea for you to plan your days. I only search for the major transportation route. For example, how to get from the airport to my accommodation, how to go on my day trips, taking which bus, taking which trains. For transportation within the city, I don't normally plan that much because I normally just use Google Map, and Google Map will tell me the nearest metro or the nearest bus station, and I can just follow Google Map. It doesn't really require a lot of planning in advance, and also I think it puts a lot of stress on me because if I have to write down the exact time that I have to be there on the dot to catch that bus, I think I'll be too stressed out for this trip. No brainer. Just chuck in your accommodation and your flight details in an itinerary. Group the attractions according to the area. I'll explain a bit more later. Food. Food dictates my travel a lot. My itinerary is basically a foodie itinerary. I even wrote a full blog post on what I use, the links, the websites, the resources when I'm planning for a foodie trip. For the link of my blog post on how to plan a foodie trip, please check out the description box below. If you're planning an itinerary from scratch, you're gonna have some inspirations coming from somewhere. I have a few places that I gather my inspirations from on where to go, which area to stay, where to eat, what restaurant to visit. But the main one I use is Instagram. I follow a lot of travelers that I like and I use the tag function a lot. It is also easier for me to find food easily. For example, the tag that I normally would use would be like hashtag Paris food, hashtag Tokyo ramen, hashtag Bangkok bar, hashtag New York pizza. I will go through these photos real quick and select a few that I really like, and the most important piece of information that I'm gathering from there is the location. And then I save it all onto my Google Map. I also have travel inspirations coming from other places, for example Tumblr, YouTube, Reddit, and Facebook groups like I said before. And then I group them area by area so you don't have to travel from one end of the city to the other end. It's also good for you to have a notebook system or a bookmark system for you to chuck all the links in there so you can come back later and have a look. I normally use Notion.so, it's very clean and sleek and it makes me want to plan my itinerary. Search for good day trips around the area. I normally use Pinterest to get these day trip itineraries as well. So here it is. This is my way of planning an itinerary. It is a very quick, a very stress-free way of planning an itinerary. I don't normally plan my itinerary very extensively. I just have some idea in my head and something on my notebook. You would save so much time if you plan your itinerary this way. As this is a series where I share all my travel hacks and all my travel secrets, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the next video where I share with you how to plan for a gap year or how to plan for a long trip. I post a new video every Thursday on food, languages, and traveling. And I will see you next Thursday. Ciao, ciao.